Good morning. Welcome back from winter break. Oh, I'm so sad that I don't get to see you guys in person. I hope you were able to rest and relax and you're all refreshed. We are still in the middle of our fractions unit, and I was just so impressed with how everybody was doing before break, but I have a feeling we're a little rusty. So this is our bell ringer for today. We're going to add some fractions that don't have the same denominator. And we'll kind of step through this one together. If you want, you can pause this and try to solve them on your own and see if you're able to accomplish that, and then come back and watch and see if the way you did it matches what I did. But of course, there'll be plenty of explanation here, hopefully, to get you able to do today's assignment. All right, so 1/2 plus 1/4. The first thing I'm going to do is try to decide, do I have to replace one of these fractions, or do I have to replace both of them? And the way I know that is I'm going to look at my least denominator. So out of 1/2 and 1/4, the lesser denominator is 2. If I count by twos, am I going to hit 4? 2, 4, 6. Yes, I hit 4. So in this case, because one denominator is a multiple of the other, I only need to replace one of my fractions. So how many times do I need 2 to make 4? I need to multiply it by 2. So I'm going to do the denominator times 2. The denominator times 2 and the numerator times 2. And that's going to end up with 2/4. So 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. They're the same value. But now I can add these fractions because they have the same denominator. So I'm going to add the numerators, and the denominator stays the same as it has through all adding fractions in our unit. So let's look at this bottom one, 1/3 plus 1/5. I'm going to look at 3. I'm going to count by threes, see if I hit 5. 3, 6. Oh, I went right over 5. There is nothing I can do to 3, multiply it by, to turn it into a 5. That means I'm going to have to replace both of these fractions. That means I'm going to have to multiply their numerators, and their denominators by the opposite denominator. Okay, so for 1/3, the opposite denominator is a 5, because here's our denominator here. For 1/5, the opposite denominator is 3. So now I'm replacing both of these fractions. What's 1 times 5? Well, it's 5. What's 3 times 5? It's 15. So an equivalent for 1/3 is 5/15. Now let's work on multiplying 1/5. 1 times 3 is 3, and 5 times 3 is 15. So I have replaced 1/5 with 3/15. So I have 5/15 plus 3/15, and I end up with 8/15. So those are the two ways we have that we can add fractions that don't have the same denominator. They have different denominators. We have to force them to have the same denominator before we can add them. And again, the numerators are added and the denominators are not. All right, so you'll see back on the page that led you to this video that there is a list of fractions, and you're going to pick any two and add them. It cannot be the ones that were in our example, so you can't do 1/2 plus 1/4 or 1/3 plus 1/5. You'll have to pick other ones. But you can still use 1/2. You just can't add it to 1/4. You could add it to 1/3 or 1/5. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, what I need you to do is show me your work for, let's say, 4 problems. And then you're going to have to find a way to screenshot your work and email it to me. So that's going to be through Canvas inbox, and you're going to attach a file. You can do your work on Paint and send me the file that way. You can do your work on paper and take a picture with the camera and then send me that file. So that might take a little bit of work getting that sent to me, but you'll figure it out. Or if not, if you have questions about the math or about how to send me your work, then you can send me a message through Canvas inbox, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Of course, I'm teaching throughout the day, so I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or if you're really stuck, we can set up a Zoom meeting so I can work with you in a small group to help you get refreshed back on fractions. So, all right, thanks for watching.